Hi boys and girls, I hope you've been enjoying the story Sharing a Shell. Well, as Joanne suggested on Monday, I went to the beach and collected some shells and brought them home and wondered what I was going to do with them. Then decided upon making my very own mini aquarium. An aquarium is a place, usually a glass tank or jar, where you can keep fish and other water-loving creatures. So I had to think, well, if I was going to keep my fish happy, what would be a nice environment for them? What else would they like to have round about them? That's called their natural habitat. So I then thought, well, if I refer back to the story, it might give me some ideas of what else to put in my aquarium. So I noticed in this rock pool, there were not only fish and shells, but also rocks and seaweed and of course water. So to make my mini aquarium, I wanted to collect all of these different things. So we'll make that in a moment. So I've now gathered the things that I want to go in my aquarium. First of all, I've got my glass tank. I'm using a glass jar, but you can also use a water bottle, which works just as well. You just have to make sure your things going in through the top are a little bit smaller. I've got my lovely shells. And I've got my stones. I've got my little fish, which are plastic ones, but they'll look very nice in our little aquarium. And I needed seaweed. So if you've ever touched real seaweed, you'll know how slimy it is. I didn't want that to get all slimy in my tank on this occasion. So I have used some grasses from outside in the garden, and also I happen to have some felt, some green felt, which I've chopped up to look like seaweed. I also have lots of water to go in my tank and a little bit of blue food colouring too. So first of all, I'll put in my stones. Quite heavy, they'll get the bottom. Then I'll put in my shells. Then I think I'll put in the fish. And finally, I'll put in a mixture of the two different types of seaweed. In the sea, there are lots of different kinds of seaweed, all different shapes and sizes and colours. There. So now, I want to put a little bit of food colouring in. Don't need too much, give that a stir. And I'll pour this into the aquarium. And I think I'll need some more to fill it to the top. And the fish are now floating and swimming about. So I'll put the lid on and see how the aquarium is looking. There. You see the fish floating around, the shells at the bottom and the stones, the seaweed and the water. That's a lovely environment for our little fish to swim around, and a lovely keepsake for me for my trip to the beach. I hope you can make one of these at home, boys and girls. Have fun. Bye-bye.